growth opportunities, emerging technologies, new business models, and companies to action across all industries. Frost & Sullivan.
So what's your experience been with the automotive sector? So in case, because you have the who's who of the automotive worlds doing a lot with the digital assistants, trying to create the natural language recognition within the cabin, cutting out the cabin noise within the vehicle. Right. So in that aspect, what's Clinc's USP?
So I think really it's about when someone's driving in a car and they want to have a conversation about a particular topic or subject, they want to have an AI that can really understand what they're saying. It has a really high accuracy rate. So our accuracy rate is north of 95% versus 40% for the rest of the industry when it comes to classification and really understanding what the person wants from an information standpoint. So the value proposition is really around providing that high quality experience. And then I think really when you look at automotive OEMs and the variety of use cases that they can focus on, they don't want to have any limits. They don't want to be constrained by their vendors' capabilities. And so what we arm the automotive OEMs with is a platform that can allow them to build all these experiences on their own.
With respect to the driver and the passenger, so how's the voice being segregated if somebody from the back needs to say something and it's too much of cabin noise and so what's the platform actually do with respect to that?
When a passenger is speaking, the technologies there now to know that it's a passenger versus someone in the back. And so our AI really works in conjunction with that equipment to really focus on who's talking. So if it's a passenger speaking and kids in the back yell something out, for the most part, it won't get picked up and it'll be focused on. So there's a prioritization that happens as well.
So being somewhere between, I could say, in the newbie in the automotive space, probably, young and upcoming, how are you trying to create a niche for yourself? What's the differentiation within the automotive space?
Sure, I think a couple of things. In terms of differentiation, really it's around training. So when you look at the legacy vendors out there, they're using a rules-based approach where they have these information retrieval systems that hit databases of utterances and queries, and they try to work that way. Whereas we have deep neural networks that actually are able to pick out exactly what you want, the intents and the slots of the actual information variables that you want to ask questions about, and then and construct the experience around that framework. And so we found that leads to higher accuracy rates and it's just frankly easier to use.
So before we jump onto a demo from you, I have a quick question. Now, this is a question I ask most of my clients here. So are you always listening to what's being spoken within in the car?
When prompted. Yeah, so we try, it's pretty user responsive, and so no, it's not constantly being recording all the information, but it's really, you prompt the AI as you would other home automation systems. So.
Hey, how much gas do I have?
Your current fuel tank is at 95% with 23 of 24 gallons left.
Will that be enough to get me to Chicago?
Given your economy average of 27 mpg, it should be possible to cover the 100 miles to Chicago.
Great, thanks. Hey, can you increase my speed to 75?
Okay, your speed has been set to 75 miles per hour with a distance of 3 gaps.
Wait, actually, can you decrease it by 10?
Certainly, your speed has been changed to 65 miles per hour.
Before we end this discussion, so what's the ETA for the solution to the automotive world? And of course, the other applications that you were talking about was banking and the other. So compared to the other applications versus automotive versus the others, so when is automotive due? And is the banking one already in place?
Yeah, so the banking one's already in place. We're already in production at several banks across the globe. Our most recent deployment was with Bank in Turkey. We've deployed at 6 million users in retail banking. It's the largest AI deployment on the planet right now. And then in terms of automotive, we already have pretty significant piloting and near production readiness with one of the top 3 OEMs in the US. And so the designing cycle is a little bit longer for automotive, but we anticipate production to go in solutions in about Q4 of 2019 and then 2020 as well.